If there's one thing I ever wanted in a Pokemon game, the most perfect Pokemon game, it's the Battle Frontier. Or some variation of it. Not the Battle Liaison, not a Trainer Tower, not just a Battle Tower, but an entire Battle Frontier. And this is why a lot of people say that specifically, I said Gens 3 and 4, but specifically Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and Pokemon Platinum are highly regarded as one of the greatest games of all time. And yeah, sure, that's a very subjective argument you can make. You know, there are technically better produced Pokemon games. People put 5th gen on a pedestal. But the one thing that hits both the casual and the competitive players fan base that unites us all is having a good post game. And do you know what fixes a bad post game? Simply by inserting a challenging feature that is the Battle Frontier. So the Battle Frontier, for those of you who are young, for those of you who were nowhere to be found in existence of planet Earth, the Battle Frontier was first introduced in Pokemon Emerald. And Pokemon Emerald, being the sister games of Ruby and Sapphire, obviously brought more content, more updated qualities of life, I would say, in that specific generation. But the Battle Frontier was something special for me, for a lot of people. And I am very surprised that Game Freak's response in believe it was a interview from an article, I believe it was 5-6 years ago, in regards to why they, no, I think it was 6 or 7 years ago, in regards to why they didn't include a battle tower, is very pitiful, very pathetic on their part. But enough of that. The Battle Frontier was the perfect post-game experience. If you completed the Elite Four and you completed National Dex, pretty much you did everything that isn't the Battle Frontier. This feature, or this post-game feature, was the greatest challenge you could be presented. Now, obviously, the one downfall of the Battle Frontier is the Pokemon that you see or use in the facilities don't get recorded to the National Dex, which me as a kid, I was kind of like, oh man, that sucks. But then we realized, hey, we have Fire Red and Leaf Green, we can complete our Pokedexes like normally, like normal people, like normal kids, who had 2 Game Boy Advance SPs or 2 Trainer Link cables or whatever. I wasn't necessarily spoiled. But anyways, we're getting off topic. The 7 facilities in the Emerald were unique. They had their own features. I mean, look at this picture on its own. You have the Battle Dome, Battle Factory, which tends to be one of my favorite because you use rental Pokemon. You have the Battle Pike, which was very annoying and actually present a lot of challenges. The Battle Pyramid, which in itself was annoying as well, but a very interesting feature is that you get to use items found in there. You can't take them out of the facility, of course, but it's all about being resourceful. Then you have the Fight Arena and the Battle Arena. Sorry. And yeah, and the Battle Tower obviously has been in the Pokemon franchise since the beginning of time. So we also had the Battle Dojo, which was very cool as well. But each unique facility has its different challenges. And to be honest with you, that's what made my Pokemon Emerald cartridge worthwhile. Yeah, you're getting $40 from a sister game that obviously is supposed to be an enhanced quote-unquote feature of Ruby and Sapphire, but man, they really did a wonderful job with this Battle Frontier. The music, the Pokemon you confront, the unique challenges that it presents to everyone, it's just really cool. It's just amazing. So like I said, the 7 facilities, the Battle Factory, Arena, Dome, Pike, Palace. I said Dojo. It's technically Palace. Pyramid and Tower. Those 7 facilities, amazing. The Frontier Brains, when you face off against them the first time in the silver, for the silver symbols, it felt like you're facing against the actual strongest trainers in the region. Yeah, Champion Steven or Wallace, depending on what version you play, are like the true champions. Well, technically speaking, Steven is a true champion in Pokemon Emerald. Spoiler alert for a game that's like about to turn 20. But these seven Frontier Brains were amazing in their own right. They were unique. They had their own personality. They weren't just a cookie cutter, copy and paste BS like Battle Mazon. Um, these seven people were unique. These seven people were the ultimate testament to a challenge. And they didn't bring basic teams. They actually bring teams, or they use the maximum advantage of their specific features. And it just works. And then once you face them for the gold symbols, it's a grind. Because usually, for the majority of these Battle Frontier Brains or Frontier Brains, you face them after the third round of 7 matches, and then the gold usually are the final match of the 7th round. So if you basically on the 49th match, the majority of them, I think all of them do. It's been a long time since I ever touched a Battle Frontier or even talk about it. But the gold symbol is the actual like, it's like you're fighting against Thanos. You're fighting against Thanos' clone. 7 clones in each facility, because I remember when I was a kid, Pyramid King Brandon brought like, I think his first team was like the Reggies, and then his second team was like the legendary birds. I remember Domace Tucker. I remember this guy was a demon, bro. This guy brought like Latios or something, and it was just crazy. And then you had Annabelle, who had a very fat, bulky offense team. And and then you have Nolan, who usually just has a random team that's usually very powerful. But it's just amazing. It was an amazing experience as a kid, and even as an adult now, I still feel like, you know what, we need to have a Battle Frontier. There's absolutely zero reason for you not to have a Battle Frontier, and we are going to talk about a little bit of what Game Freak said. But then we ended up getting Platinum. We ended up getting Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and voila, we ended up getting another Battle Frontier. This time there was only 5 facilities. These facilities, again, they personified. Like, you're entering the domain of these deities, essentially. The ultimate test. If you want to be, a corny quote, you want to be the best trainer out there, you had to face against these guys. I didn't really care about your Hall of Fame. I don't really care about your EV train level 100 Pokemon. You gotta beat these to have my respect. As a kid. Man, it just makes me wonder why Game Freak just didn't want to they have missed so many opportunities, and having these types of features, it just not in the game. It just makes me baffled. Like, what is their excuse? And we're gonna talk about the very biggest opportunity that was missed by them. Obviously, when Oras came out, everyone was expecting, oh my god, we have a Delta episode, which is technically an ode to Pokemon Emerald and Rayquaza and Deoxys, all that stuff. We have a full-on national Dex, which was really cool. We had the Dex Nav. We had the Dex Nav was very cool in finding hidden ability, good IV Pokemon. You have rematches of gym leaders, which is phenomenal. It was a pretty cool game. Oras, to me personally, gets hated on because of its 3D art style sometimes. But for a remake, it's pretty good. But I think the biggest opportunity that was missed was not including a Battle Frontier. Even though, now I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, Oras was not supposed to have Battle Frontier because it's based on Ruby and Sapphire. And yes, you know what? That may be true. But my biggest thing is, who the fuck cares? Who cares? We've had games where there are features or remakes of games that have features from their sister games. I mean, think about it. We literally just played Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and there are Platinum features. We have a national Dex. You're able to access certain features in BDSP that are from Platinum. You look at the Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they ended up getting a Battle Frontier, including Platinum. So that's 2 generation games two games in the same generation, I should say, that ended up getting a Battle Frontier. So what's Game Freak's excuse? So if you recall, there was an article 6 or 7 years ago that talked about Game Freak's response as to why there wasn't a Battle Frontier. And I believe it goes along the lines of, well, people don't want are expecting to not have a challenge in Pokemon, that people do not want to waste their time on something that could be challenging because, technically Pokemon is considered a kids game. And that shit don't make any sense. And I don't recall the actual response, like the word for word response. I should pull it up somewhere. You know what? I'm gonna do it because this topic pisses me off, man. I just don't get why. Like, if we look at the response, and I'm gonna pull it up very, very quickly on my phone because I do not, man. I just feel like Game Freak, sometimes they take 2 steps forward and a million steps backwards. And I'm actually going to go on Reddit here. Oh, here it is. So the question was, why wasn't the Battle Frontier in the remakes? And it says here, their response. I think Masuda answered this question, if I'm not mistaken, but he said, or they said, this question is connected with my previous answer in regards to, having a challenge mode. We didn't put the Battle Frontier in ORAS for this very reason. In short, and the interviewer notes, it says, in short, he means that they didn't include the Battle Frontier because only a very small part of the players would have fully appreciated and made use of this feature. Nowadays, players get bored and frustrated more easily, and they aren't interested in things that are so demanding and challenging. That is fucking cap. That's a bunch of lies. If anything, these games, the later generations of games, starting from X to Y, they become very hand-holding. They're not challenging at all. You go to point A to point B. Is there anything beyond a battle tower that they just cannot implement in the game? Like, honestly, ORAS was the perfect time to do that. And then Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl came around, and we didn't get a Battle Frontier like Platinum did. Like, what was this, 15, 14, 13 years ago when it came out? I just think that it's just laziness, man. Like, I understand that your audience, the main target of your audience is supposed to be, children, adolescents. But for the veteran players, the people who have been playing this game since day one of the franchise's existence, what are y'all doing, man? The hell's going on? I prefer a challenge. And I prefer a post game, an actual post game that will entertain me for hours and hours upon end. I want a Pokemon game that I'm gonna play for 8 hours and keep playing afterwards. I don't want to play a Pokemon game that I'm gonna forget in a couple of weeks, quote unquote. That's Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl right now, with Legends Arceus coming out very soon. The Battle Frontier is very special. There's absolutely zero excuse to not have a Battle Frontier at this point. I expect a challenge. These games that have been pumped out by Game Freak and whoever their partners, associate partners are, have been garbage because, one, there's no sustenance to their source. They're being outsourced like crazy, especially with graphics, story, plot. It's just a mess right now. And right now I can tell you that the majority of the audience for the Pokemon community is not very pleased with the quality of product that's been pumped out. Yes, the recent remakes are very nostalgic. And yes, they've been good in certain aspects, but the biggest issues that we've had with these games is a substantial Pokemon game that allows us to play for hours upon hours upon hours on end without repetitiveness, a lack of a storyline, and honestly, it's just, give us a feature that can entertain us. Give us a feature that will challenge us. How about you implement the Battle Frontier? And if people don't want to play it, that's fine. But I feel like you should have it there because it's iconic. It's iconic in the fact that it presents us a view of Pokemon competitiveness. You know what? When Sword and Shield dropped, Game Freak was very eager to push their audience into VGC. Why not push us to do Battle Frontier? If you put so much energy in a format that simply allows us to compete in real life, why don't you just push us to do a Battle Frontier? It's a fun feature. There's literally zero excuse. I just think Game Freak was either running out of time making these games, or they just simply lazy, because their response, their official response, I believe is just not right. And I don't know who's pulling the strings up there, but please, the next game y'all make, I know 5th gen remakes, and that's going to be a whole nother Pandora's box that we don't want to open right now, because it's still too early. But please have a Battle Frontier. In 5th gen Black and White 2, we had the Pokemon World Tournament. That was amazing. But please include something that will challenge our freaking brains for once. Something that lights up at least 2 of our brain cells to actually play Pokemon. Because right now I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed that the post game was just simply copy and paste, or there are certain post games in like Sword and Shield and that just not substantial at all. We get it. The Battle Tower. Yeah. Battle Tower, yada, yada, yada. Alright? We get it. It's been in the games, or there's been multiple instances of Battle Towers since Crystal. But please, give us a whole freaking island where you can just compete against these deities, these semi-gods. Let it be worth it. I think if anything, I believe a challenge is rewarding, because it shows respect to the Pokemon fan base. Like, hey, you guys like challenges? Heard you guys like to compete. Why not just challenge our brains? Challenge the way we play Pokemon. It'd be pretty fun. It's like a lot of content there. And it just seems like they're not putting in the effort to do it, or they're just missing opportunities like crazy. And technically, I would say ORAS would have been the perfect opportunity. And then once Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl came out, and it was just a Battle Tower, which is fine. The Battle Tower, at least there was a boss battle and all that stuff that's actually challenging. But man, they sure missed the bullet. They sure missed it, man. They really missed the target there. I just said bullet. I meant target. They sure missed the target, man. That would have been very good for these games. But I felt like, again, these games are probably rushed for other products to be pushed out. And I can say the same thing with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl being forgotten, with Legends Arceus coming out very soon. But anyways, guys, what do you guys think about the Battle Tower? Do you think it should come back? I 1,000% agree it should come back. Or just make it a whole new game on its own. Kind of like Pokemon Battle Revolution. Something like that. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. We should definitely have a Battle Frontier, but let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Franklin, signing out. Peace. Thank you guys so much for all this support you guys gave me so far. We're close to hitting 5K. I'm seeing the support more and more every day, and I appreciate it. Let's get to 5K so we can open up that Discord, alright? Peace. God damn, Game Freak.